All right, good morning, brothers and sisters. We are in Philippians 4 this morning. For those who know, we're going through a few tours of Philippians. And just this morning, before I got Philippians 4, the Lord already gave me a verse to share on. Here we go. Verse 2 of chapter 4 of Philippians. Paul writes to the church, says this: I implore Euodia and I implore Syntyche to be of the same mind in the Lord. Verse 3, and I urge you also, true companion, help these women who labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and the rest of my fellow workers whose names are in the book of life. Now, the reason why I shun verse 3 a little bit is so you can have an idea of who these women were. In verse 2, Paul's asking that these brothers and sisters, that they encourage Euodia and Syntyche to be of the same mind. Now, these were both women who labored with Paul, who were in ministry. And they both were neck and neck. They had a dispute, a disagreement. Okay, and he says he urges them to be of the same mind. He's like, man, encourages these to knock it off. When you're of the same mind, you're walking in love. The only way to be of the same mind, of one accord, in the same spirit, is to walk in love. And what's the greatest gift? Love. You don't know what your spiritual gifts are? Make sure you got love. You know what I'm saying? Because with love, when you're walking in love, when you're walking in love, you're able to forgive people, whether they're right or wrong. You may not agree with them, but you understand. You understand that they don't understand, and it makes it easier for you to love them. Whether they're in rebellion or not, you understand it. Oh, they're in rebellion. Okay, well, they're carnal. I understand. No matter what I say in the spirit, they're not going to get it. You understand that what the words are coming out of their mouth are harsh. Again, they're carnal. It's not biblical. It's not spirit. So you're able to forgive them. You understand that they're walking in the flesh. You're able to love them through. You're able to submit, not to them, but to submit to God by submitting to them in love. Okay? And Paul's asking that these people would encourage these girls to be of the same mind. They're in ministry. And when you're in ministry, the devil attacks more, because in ministry, you're able to lift each other up. You got prayer requests. It's like you can, what is that? Not ESPN. That's a sports station. ESP, telepathically tell each other what's going on. You can't. You have to communicate what's going on openly. Even if you write it down, the devil can see it, the devil can hear it. And the devil hears your prayer requests. The devil hears your prayers when they're out loud. This is why praying in tongues is good. The devil can't translate that. But when you are in ministry, it's more intimate, because you're sharing these intimate details about your life. Or you're sharing about your husband or your wife or your mother or your sister, and where they're struggling and where they need strength. And in that intimacy, the devil hears it, and he wants to cause a division or a schism. He wants to cause dissension. He wants to separate marriages. When a person is not forgiving, marriages get separated, friendships get separated, fellowships get separated, churches get separated, because someone's not willing to forgive. Someone's not willing to walk in the spirit and say, hey, I understand where they're coming from, and they might have done me dirty, or they're doing God dirty. It's just, I forgive them because Christ forgave me. Jesus said while he was nailed to the cross, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Nailed to, after he was beaten and whipped open by little like hamburger, thorn up here, crown of thorns, blood coming down, nails in his hands, hanging there, dude, hanging up there, and they're mocking him. He didn't say, Father, I'm done with these fools. I'm getting, pop, I'm down. Later, Holmes, you guys all just burn. I'm just let God give justice to you. That we're over, man. No. They were narcissistic, abusive people that turned on him. And Jesus forgave them. You know what I'm saying? For all you say, oh, well, you'll be more like Jesus. Well, how about you start forgiving first when people do you dirty? Don't walk around saying you're this, and that if you can't forgive. Check yourself. I've done it. I've been checked. I got chin checked many times by Jesus and by, authoritarians. And I love that. It helped me out. It set me straight. My point is this. We all have someone to forgive today. God has given you, it's full moon tonight. You know that song, The Freaks Come Out at Night, from the 80s? The Freaks Come Out tonight, yesterday, last night, tonight, tomorrow night. Yeah, you guys have no idea all the demonic, satanic rituals that are happening with little children that are being, it's just disgusting. Okay? All these animals are being killed and sacrificed on these nights, and the people, the gravitational pull from the moon is just the chemically imbalanced are getting very emotional, moody today. I know that because I seen that in LA. My point is this: I'm expecting people to come at me in a harsh way because it's full moon, And I'm going to love them and forgive them and serve them. I'm going to be a leader that serves and a servant that leads. Paul is saying, hey, encourage these sisters and all the other sisters who've labored with me in ministry, whose names are in the book of life. Encourage them to be of the same mind, to walk in love. If you are not walking in love, you are not in the spirit, man. How do you know if you're walking in love? Your house is in order. Oh, well, my house is in chaos. Then guess what? You, the authoritarian, whether you are a single mother in that house, or you are a husband, or or a single man, if your house is not in, if the peace of God is not there, then someone's not walking in love, and it starts with you, the authoritarian. So, brothers and sisters, I encourage you again today to remember God has given you somebody to forgive, just like Jesus forgave while he was hamburgered up, whipped, beaten, walked a few miles with a splintered cross on his back, crown of thorns, all jacked up, nailed to the cross, and he forgave those who nailed him, who did him dirty, so that God will not show them justice, but show them mercy. He forgave them. And today, God's given me people to forgive. I work with about several hundred kids and maybe about 100 staff members, and several, I don't know, 20-some special needs kids who I'm expecting to be pretty aggressive today. But I have the armor of God on. I have the armor of God, the helmet of salvation to keep my mind guarded, breastplate of righteousness to guard my heart so I won't be emotional, the buckle of truth that I may walk in it, my feet in the gospel of peace to give the Lord to everybody in love, to be that gospel to them, the sword of the Spirit, which is memorize verses, so when they come at me, I can rebuke them in love with Scripture without me quoting Scripture. I can quote them Scripture to rebuke them. And the shield of faith, which quenches all the fiery darts of Satan. As they come and attack me, hey dude, bam, bounces right off me, buddy, deflected. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual kung fu, yo. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, this verse stood out to me this morning as a warning for me, and maybe it's a warning for you, or maybe it is just knowledge for you to be aware that, we are under attack, and if we are under attack, forgive them. Walk in love. Remember, you can't forgive them if you're not walking in love. It's interesting. Jesus loved those who nailed him to the cross. He loved them. This is why he stood up there. At any point, he could have came down and said, forget these fools, man. There's no need. Let them burn in hell. He said, nah, he's going to hang in there. Jesus hung in there. We need to also. So, brothers and sisters, I love you. Have a blessed day. It's a Tuesday, full moon. May the peace of God be with you. Remember, God's giving you people to forgive today. Serve them. Love them. You ain't going to agree with them, but you understand where they're coming from. Therefore, you understand that they don't understand. It makes it easier for you to love them. Peace be with you, and choose wisdom over the world. God bless.